Hi, Joe.
Hi, good afternoon, Bart.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Second Hawley on Meet the Staff so far this week. Welcome to the show, and welcome back to Michigan. You just went on a trip.
Just got back from Florida, yeah, Pompano Beach.
Normally I would ask you this like immediately upon your return, but I was saving it for the show.
Oh, good.
Were there any incidents?
No incidents. We had our kids, and it was nice. We got to relax, went to the beach a couple times, and just made sure they were having a good time.
First incident-free trip, then.
I've never had an incident on a trip.
Never?
No.
Well, I can think of several.
Well, there's people that I'm with that have incidents all the time, but I'm never.
How long have you been at JTV?
Well, I guess like officially like 3.5 years, but just like everyone else here, my whole life it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lived here when you started it up, and obviously been in and out my whole life, so feels like all 25 years, but in an official capacity, about 3.5.
Yeah, you really have. It's because up until 3.5 years ago, you were working for the city of Jackson. Yeah,
that's right. I was in charge of all of our kind of youth rec programs, so anytime you saw Ella Sharp full on a Saturday morning with youth soccer and things like that, that was me.
I think a lot of your talents in managing projects and people come from the years you were at the city.
I'd say that's probably true. If you can handle youth, sports, parents, everything else is walk in the park.
We have no parents here.
No, not very many, no. So, yeah, this is nothing to it compared to that.
Who was the worst parent?
Who's the worst parent? I don't think legally I'm allowed to say their name. Yeah.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Probably.
So what are the things that the operations manager does at JTV?
The less you know, the better, generally.
That's what I enjoy that so much about you being operations manager. I don't have to know this stuff.
Yeah, generally anything like behind the camera that's not really going out. So a lot of stuff with our clients, working with our staff on any issues. Scheduling is a big part of it, and coordinating where our staff is and where we need to be, things that we're shooting, where our photographers are going a lot. I work, with a lot of that as well. So really anything that, involves not seeing me like you are right now is ideally it.
Sometimes there'll be somebody that will walk through. This happened a couple times in the last month, and I just kind of wondered who's this person walking around, and they actually work here.
Yeah, that's also part of the case. Is we often hire a lot of people where you, after the fact, ask who they are. So yeah, I think you know everybody now.
I do now.
But yeah, we usually have some people walking through that look like strangers, but have actually been here for longer than you think.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've had people come up to me on the street and say, "Oh, I used to work at JTV." It's like, I don't remember that, but if you say so.
Yeah, I mean, they very well could have.
It's possible they did. You have a reputation. Someone came up to me the other day and said that you are going to be in the 2028 Olympics for pickleball.
Oh, no, I don't know who told you that.
Someone's dental hygienist.
Someone's dental hygienist?
Yes.
You don't know who that person is, or you don't know who the hygienist is?
I know who the person is. I don't know who the dentist or the hygienist is.
Oh.
And I don't even know if I'm saying hygienist right.
You're not. No, I don't think so. I don't really actually play that much. It's more of like I teach classes up here at Crossroads and give lessons because, those who can't do.
So teach. we have Connor Mogul, who's a professional.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah.
And people have said, well, why isn't Joey professional pickleball player?
You can't have two professionals from the same town. That would be that'd be obnoxious. Right. No, I talked to Connor, a couple months ago when he was in town, and I told him it wasn't that long ago that I was teaching him the rules of the game that he now does professionally. But so I would imagine he wakes up every day and thanks me. But yeah, no, it's really cool to watch. I think he's out in Arizona or about to be out in Arizona next week in whatever professional event out there, and so it's really cool to see.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, and I'm glad you're not a professional pickleballer, because we wouldn't be able to have you here.
Me too. They have to travel all over, and it's not as lucrative yet as I'm sure it will be. So
Connor had to leave his regular job.
well, that's good. You want to be able to leave your job if you're going to, be a professional, an athlete.
We like to meet the staff, so find out a little bit more about the people on the team here. And with that, through photos, you brought
I
some
did bring a
pictures.
few, probably not as many as other people brought, but that's okay. Well, there's our my lovely family, my wife Katie, and then our sons James in the Red Wings hat, and then Quinn. They're on the left. That's at the turkey trot.
Oh, I wondered where, because
Yeah.
we haven't had snow in a while.
That was after the turkey trot, so I don't know why we're smiling.
Huh.
Yeah, no, it was great. And that's just from this Christmas. That's all of us again, and then our dog Franklin there, who's kind of blending into my camo jacket. That was poor choice by me.
That's all I do, a camo
You can't
jacket.
even see him. Poor guy.
I can see
He's
him.
a senior dog.
Yeah. How old is Frank?
He's going to be 13 in July.
Wow.
Yep. And that's just from the other day. That's my wife and our kids at the Circum Trucking event on Christmas Eve, which we've gone to a few years in a row. Quinn, as you know, is a big truck fan, so this was better than Christmas morning for him.
I heard you were there all of 5 minutes.
No, we were there much longer than that.
Oh.
We even went inside and stole some of the food that they were providing for their own staff. But
Well, it's one thing about Quinn. He loves to eat.
he does,
Yes.
when he's not supposed to, at least.
Yeah.
And that's James and a couple of our cousins and friends over at the Tigers playoff game. That was the last game of the season that we won, believe it or not, because we lost the next 2 or 3. So it was fun while it lasted. It was against the Mariners.
Was that a ball that was caught?
All of the boys got there 2 hours early and got batting practice balls, tossed up to them. So they all were bragging about how many foul balls they caught when
Nice.
the answer is 0. But they all did get themselves some game issued baseball. So that's really all I think they wanted. I don't think they really actually wanted to watch the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just the two of you.
Yeah, James has taken that picture. You can see his shadow there, but that's just from Florida a couple days ago on Pompano Beach there. It's actually pretty cold, but the sun helps. But
Well,
yeah,
it was nicer there than it was.
it was
even
it
though-
was about a 50-degree difference. And then you've met, that's Alex. That's James's mentor friend from Minnesota State. He plays goalie for Minnesota State hockey, and James is in a program where he talks to him each week, and they talk about life and talk about hockey. And he came down and visited us, as you know, for a couple days in August, and that was a very, very cool experience for him.
Are we going to get to see him play this year?
Like in person?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Well, he plays at Ferris State in 3 weeks if you want to drive up there.
Oh, I don't know.
We're going to be there, but
You're going there?
well, he's got a hockey tournament in Grand Rapids that same weekend, so we'll probably just shoot
Oh.
up after. Speaking of hockey tournaments, this is in Port Huron. They won their division in the International Silver Stick tournament, and as you do know now, the reward for winning that tournament, besides
Or penalty?
well, the reward for them, besides those medals and that trophy and that banner, is a all expenses unpaid trip to Canada next week. So we are going to Canada for 4 or 5 days, starting on Wednesday, I think. So Canada in
Wow.
January, everybody's favorite.
Toronto, big city.
Metropolitan Toronto,
Oh.
Newmarket, Ontario, I believe. So it's about a half hour north of Toronto. But we're probably going to try to hit the Hockey Hall of Fame and do all that good stuff. So that's going to be a great experience for them, and they have an unbelievable group of coaches looking out for them.
Well, that's home of hockey.
The home of hockey,
Yeah.
yeah. One of the original 6. This is from our anniversary. Me and my wife went golfing up north in Toski Harbor Springs area.
It's like the British Open.
Well, if you can zoom in, I don't know if Ben's up there, if you can zoom in on that flag, there's already a ball that's real tight. And that's why I don't have a club in my hand and I'm behind the camera, because I'm already in there real snug. But Katie's kind of stuck in that bunker. The reason I was able to get a photo is this is probably shot 3 or 4 from that spot there for
wow.
her. So she had been spending quite a bit of time in there. So I was able to walk slowly over to the cart, grab my phone, walk slowly back, and still grab a photo.
Katie's going to really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, she
photo.
asked what time I was going to be on, so I made sure that she'd be watching.
Well, if she's watching, this is a great opportunity for me to thank Katie for that awesome Chex Mix that you made our family that we enjoyed. It was wonderful to have for the whole season. We enjoyed it during TV, for dessert. We had it for hors d'oeuvres. We fed it to guests. It was great.
Is that the Crispix one?
Crispix, yeah.
Yeah, we actually got that recipe from a friend of ours up in Grand Rapids. Shout out Jen Chase.
Yeah,
Brian's lovely wife.
It's better than regular Chex Mix.
It's significantly better.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Chex Mix, but yeah.
It's awesome.
What else you got?
Well, I think I heard Lucas tell me we have to stop, but I'm not sure. So we became hockey families too.
Yeah, yep. Hockey family and basketball family. I mean, so like just looking at this week, you were in Toledo last night, right? Going to be, I think maybe
Toledo again.
Yeah. And then fortunately we have some home games for once on Saturday, but normally you'd be on the road to wherever it was for either of those two.
I have a full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you often brag about what high schools have the best popcorn, and I know you don't like talking about it because you don't want to disparage anybody. But about, now that you are in the kind of youth hockey scene, do you have a favorite ice rink for popcorn?
Well, it's the Jackson Optimist Ice Arena.
Yeah. Theirs is fantastic.
It is fantastic, hands down. And the French fries too.
Their French fries are fantastic as well. Yeah. No, we've obviously been to a lot of them, and it's tough because you have to get, like you said, French fries or popcorn or something hot, because it's a nightmare sometimes in some of those places.
All right. The food at the Port Huron Arena, horrible.
Not a fan, and that's tough because they also have like a semi-professional team, so you'd think they'd be up in their game, but no, a lot of warming stations.
Yeah, and Toledo Catholic Central last night, the popcorn, it was like made off-site, shipped in.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Wow. Well, we love having you on the team and on the staff and on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, whenever you'd like. I'd love to come on more often.
Well, you want to take over the show?
No, thank you. Not that often.
Okay. All right. Meet the JTV staff with Joe Hawley. Next on